This podcast is sponsored by Go Play Sports, the brand new mobile app changing the game for grassroots. Whether it's Sunday League or five-a-side, Go Play Sports makes it easy to track attendance, manage teams and cut out the manual admin. No more endless group chats, no more chasing payments, just turn up and play. Go Play Sports. Download now from your app store.
I've got my slab of cake. 3 points at Anfield. Tastes fucking good.
Beautiful feeling. Amazing feeling. And especially going, but losing that goal, losing the lead, it was a deflation. So it made the winner even better. And even better that it was Maguire, like another player, a player that I've backed a lot, got a lot of criticism for backing. Said he's got great character, and he stepped up in a big moment when we needed him, right? When that knee slide is just a wonderful thing. I obviously said we should buy Caicedo or Rice in that window. I didn't know who Rasmus Højlund was, so don't keep going on about that.
So why would you recommend him? Why would you recommend him over Kane then?
I didn't. This is what I mean. You made this up.
I
didn't know who Rasmus Højlund was.
I've sent the receipts.
You still backed him.
I've sent the receipts.
I've
sent the receipts.
You said pay the money. You were like,
I've sent the receipts. I've sent the
we had a
WhatsApp
massive
receipts.
argument about it.
Let's kick it off. I'm Steve, and I'm joined by Ash and Uz, and we've battled the AWS issues to make it on the pod. Uz gave up as easy as I'd expect the United team to give up normally, but that's not what we saw this weekend, because Manchester United won 2-1 against Liverpool at Anfield. Harry Maguire with the winner in the 85th minute, and yeah, it's been a long time coming, nearly a decade, I think, since our last win at Anfield. So
16.
Yeah, Rooney, right? Louis van Gaal. And then before that was Juanfield. So the last 9 years have been tough, including the 7-0 defeat. So I think we were due one. And as always, in the rare occasions when we do win a football match, we have to come to Mr. Ruben in, Mr. Ineos in. So Uz, how much did you enjoy that win against Liverpool at Anfield?
As much as everyone did, right? For me, I don't know what's it like for you. For me, it's the hardest fixture of the season. I always for me personally, I've got a lot of Liverpool supporting fans, friends, and it's the place where I get the most nerves. The biggest game for me of the season, way more than City. I think Arsenal's probably second for me. So yeah. And
Are there any Man City fans anyway?
No. The Gallagher brothers, and that's about it, isn't it?
Pretty much.
So yeah, it was, and I had very low expectations, obviously, going into this game. The other thing is, it's not just for me personally, was the battling, the kind of United Liverpool thing. It's in the context of this almost internal battle we have. Like, you've just come to me and referenced me as the Ruben in guy, and it's almost like there was a feeling as well of Ruben's job's on the line today, right? It's more than just a game. It was like it was bigger than a game. So I was really hoping that we could step up with a performance. I've been telling you guys, Liverpool to me have looked dodged this season, so I felt that if we played well, we'd give them a game. Didn't expect us to win, but beautiful feeling. Amazing feeling, and especially going, but losing that goal, losing the lead, it was a deflation. So it made the winner even better, and even better that it was Maguire, like another player, a player that I've backed a lot, got a lot of criticism for backing. Said he's got great character, and he stepped up in a big moment when we needed him, right? When that knee slide is just a wonderful thing. So many great goals that guy scored.
You know what's funny? Obviously, if you rewind to the last game at Anfield, obviously it was Ruben's early days, and we played quite well. It was 2-2, and obviously all United fans will remember that last-minute chance where Maguire could have won it. And at that time, Rafi was about 2 months old, and I was holding him for that chance, and I fell to my knees while holding him, and he started crying. And it's quite funny because, like, fast forward to now, it was Rafi's first birthday party weekend. So Ash was up in Manchester. We're watching it together. And Ash, to score within, a minute and 10 seconds or whatever it was, just like surreal, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a quicker goal at Anfield. Maybe, yeah, just completely like any team, but great start, and good move as well. So yeah, no, I couldn't believe, to be honest, like we'd started like that. It's amazing what happens when you pass the ball forward and you have forward runners.
And you play
yeah,
Ahmad, right?
yeah, exactly. I thought Ahmad was outstanding for the period that he was on the pitch. I saw Ruben actually say what happened. So because he got booked, he decided to take him off. Because do you remember when he took him off? I was like, why is he taking him off? Because he just looked fresh as a daisy. But fair play, because we've spoken about it a lot, right? Ruben has not had that luck that a manager needs, even when you're at the top of the league. So yeah, all the Scousers will talk about. It's weird. They're saying like they hit the woodwork 3 times, but it's like, come on, like one was a freaking cross that got deflected. But yeah, I mean,
am
I don't
loving.
remember.
Sorry, I am loving how bitter old Arne is, pulling out all the excuses under the sun. Like, oh, they changed their team. How dare we
change their team, low block. I mean, let's rewind to when Gerard Houllier used to come to Old Trafford and just park the bus, right?
I don't even think we did park the bus as well. I thought, we tried to play, we tried to attack them, and then it was in the last, let's say, quarter of the game where we were gassed. We were absolutely just on our knees. We had nothing left right in the tank, and that's when we really sank back deep. But
even in the
more
Sir Alex
broadly,
days,
I thought we did try to have a go most of the game.
Even in the Sir Alex days, I don't remember one single victory where we didn't fight, battle, grind. The one time we played Liverpool off the park was Anfield under Louis van Gaal, but under Sir Alex Ferguson, I think our greatest victory, John O'Shea, we didn't do anything the whole game. I think Edwin made a few saves and we won the game. And as mentioned, it's our hardest game. I don't remember playing well there that often, so fuck it, I don't care. Like, we just take the win.
Well, just going back, like, historically, like, because for me, Liverpool away is the big one, as you were saying, like, which ones are the biggest? For me, it's the biggest. And I was thinking back, like, how many times can I remember winning at Anfield? And in my lifetime, I like look back to see how many times we've won. And since, like, say 2007, that O'Shea one, we've only won 4, not including this weekend, so 5 in total. So if you think like over 20 years, we've won 5 times at Anfield. But then going back beyond that, if ChatGPT is right, we won 5 on the bounce between 95 to 2000. So it's like back then, even, was it a game? Because I don't remember those games. Like, would you say it was a battle?
Yeah,
well, yeah, it's a proper game.
Yeah, Liverpool weren't that good, and they gave us a game every single time. As we'll probably remember the 3-3, I think it was 94 as.
Oh yeah,
going 3-0 up. Yeah, I mean, I was a little bit too young and didn't have Sky.
Go and watch
the classic.
Go and watch the highlights of that. The reason I say that is look at the difference of Anfield then versus now. There was
atmosphere.
crazy atmosphere. It was really interesting. At the 90th minute, there was a corner, I think, around 90, and I could hear a pin drop. I was like, what is going on?
Where's your famous atmosphere?
Unbelievable. It was literally, I was like, is something wrong with the sound? If Sky turned the sound off or there's a failure. And then they kick the ball. So I was like, no, the ball and the is making a sound. Where's the crowd? You're at the Kop. You're 2-1 down. Where's this? You're supposed to be sucking the ball into the net, aren't you? I mean, what's going on? It
I
was
think Gary Neville
bizarre.
turned the noise cancelling button on, and we could just hear his screeching when Maguire nestled that into the corner. Beautiful moment.
Yeah, talking of Edwin van der Sar, I have to say, Le Mans, is it? How do we say it? We've got to do the name thing again. We've got
Le Mans.
Mbumu right now, but now, is it Le Mans?
I'm going Le Mans.
Le Mans. I
Yeah,
thought
Le
Le
Mans,
Mans was
yeah.
very composed, right? Second game, big pressure.
Yep.
There was one moment where it was a high ball, high catch, and he seemed to slightly misjudge it. I was like, oh my God, thank God he caught that one. But apart from that, he looked really good. And that shows you the difference. We played well, for example. I kept saying, guys, look, we played well in the Arsenal game. It was just clowning goal, punched one in. It just shows you a good goalkeeper can make a big difference. Two things, a good goalkeeper makes a big difference in scoring the first goal. I keep saying, if so many games are like, we play well for 20 minutes, and the first shot they score, and it kind of puts you on the back foot. So that fast start, and you get the goal. And I thought we could have got a second. I thought, how did Bruno not put that one in for 2-0, right? And then you're 2-0 and you're strolling. But at 1-0 it was always tense, and when they scored I thought, okay, we're done, because we put everything into that, and I thought we were done. So to win was just insane.
The roller coaster of emotions, right? But just going back to that first goal, I think for me, I think I said after the Arsenal game, first game of the season, I liked Mbumu because of those runs. You could see it in the first game, like he was running in behind way more than you've seen in many years, right? I think in terms of United attackers, and that's exactly what he done. Like just ran past Van Dijk. Van Dijk with some aura defending. Ash, what did you make of that so-called defending?
Yeah, it was like pass it on defending, wasn't it? I saw like Neville and Carragher seemed to get confused about it. I mean, for me, Van Dijk just seemed to pass him on to Konate. And like I said, I think that was the most positive thing, even within the first minute, a forward run. Like it just, it's the most basic thing in football, but it just causes havoc. And that's what happened. He makes the run. Great pass actually, there's two great passes, Bruno to Ahmad, and then Ahmad's pass, like really inspirational. And just, that is classic Manchester United, actually, that goal.
Yeah.
Forward passing, forward run, bang, counter-attack, and off to a great start. And we actually created some good chances. Obviously, Liverpool fans or even the neutral might say, oh, Liverpool aren't in great form. But let's be fair, Steve, like we've been shit for a year. So, let's get the monkey off the back and say, yes, we've won two league games in a row.
And it is
I can't believe
the first back-to-back wins for Ruben, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like nearly a year, right? Because he obviously joined early November, which is mental, but let's just say it because, it is the elephant in the room. But yeah, nothing to celebrate on that element. But yeah, I thought we also done a number on Liverpool in terms of like we outnumbered them in different phases of the pitch. So you could say that the system did work to an element, but this is the problem, right? Like we know with these players, it could be a one-off. So we have to kind of see what happens next Saturday in terms of how well the system, the formation. But
this is what everyone's saying.
Let's part that to the side. Let's just be in the celebrations because it's been a shite year. Liverpool fans will probably be saying, you're celebrating one win, but it's the sweetest win that you can celebrate. That's your point.
That's kind of how I feel about it as well, because all United fans are kind of like obviously loving it, but there's that element of you need to back it up because we've seen it not happen for so long. But then I keep reminding myself you don't win at Anfield often, so fucking enjoy it. So I'm going to enjoy it for at least 20 minutes on this pod before we talk other matters.
I'm enjoying it until till Saturday. Like,
yeah, exactly. We have to.
This is what Az said. Like, we know, unfortunately, too many Liverpool fans, whether it's socially or at work, and now you can like put your head up. Ron talked about it a couple months ago. It's like it's depressing going into work. Some good memes going around on the socials. Just head up high. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. And if Harry Maguire wants to keep bailing out Ruben, don't know how sustainable it is, but yeah, it gives us these moments. So yeah.
Have you seen the stat about Maguire's last 6 goals?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it's like,
read them out?
quite a few winners in there. Yeah, obviously the winner
wasn't a bailout, but I think it's the narrative, isn't it? Like that Maguire keeps scoring these goals to.
No, I thought we played well. Let's give the team and Ruben props, right? Like, going to Anfield is the toughest test for Manchester United, and even last season, the 2-2, I thought we played well. I don't normally expect, like, when you don't expect to get on the ball at Anfield, right? I think that's kind of like the blueprint. Even going back to the Fergie days, they say settle the crowd down, bit of possession, and we were doing a bit of that. There was some nice interplay. And I thought we played well. And if anything, you're slightly disappointed to not have a 2-goal cushion, right? Because it's always vulnerable at Anfield. So yeah, I thought we played really well, especially that first half. I know obviously Gapco hit the post, but so did Bruno, as we mentioned. So I thought, in terms of how you can play at Anfield, I thought we played really well in that first half, especially. Assuming you're the same.
Yeah, I think tactically as well. So I looked at the team selection. I'm like, he's played Ahmad at wing back. Thank God for that. I was really happy. And then lo and behold, after 2 minutes, Ahmad
assist.
Yeah, assist for Mbumo, goal, and it was like, this is exactly what I wanted to see.
And nearly a second assist for Bruno, right? Because it was Ahmad that played it back to Bruno.
Great pick out, yeah.
Yeah, and this is what I was talking about. Like, have that intent. Put Ahmad at wing back. That you can talk all you want about 3-4-3, but the personnel can make a difference. I think a lot of people were disappointed with Sesko not starting, but I thought it made sense to have Cunha and Boom. I thought Cunha, by the way, bloody hell, what a game! I mean,
yeah.
I told you boys that this guy's
minutes.
good. Yeah, he was like a machine on his own, just like holding off 5 Liverpool players on his own, getting fouled.
When he was on the floor, and then he still managed to keep the ball on the touchline, like with 5 minutes to go.
And character,
crazy energy,
character, Mbumo, character. This is what I'm saying. Like, let the new guys give the new guys a bit of time. These are top signings, top players, and suddenly, giving them 5 minutes, and they've gone to Anfield, the hardest ground to go to. That's the real test of character, and delivered a top performance. And we look at that team sheet, there's clear weaknesses there. There's, Dallo, not a fan of him. Think he did okay, but I'm not a fan. Shaw as well, think he did okay, but he could be upgraded. Casemiro could only go 55 minutes and he was down with cramp. So you can see there's holes in this squad, but the new guys have come in and they really performed. Le Mans as well, I thought composed, good save off Isak, for example, in the one-on-one situation. So really pleased that he got the team selection, I think, really right. I got the tactics right as well. Like, we basically didn't let them press us. We just went long, dropped off one and waited for the second ball. Like, had lots of men around that place where the second ball's going to drop, and then quick attack from there. And it was good. And that's where the goal came. You saw that kind of challenge. Van Dijk elbows McAllister in the head, which I thought was funny.
Especially when McAllister looked like a swimmer for the rest of the game.
And then they want the play stop for that, right?
Yeah, just
so
a joke.
Hard done by.
But and Slot moaning about all the long balls. It's like, sorry, mate, this is the battle. This is a Premier League, and I love the fact we were up for a fight. We're not messing around.
Klopp used to do the same though, and it's just like change the record. Like Wenger used to complain as well, and there's a reason for it, right? Because generally they didn't win the big trophies for that reason. So like, it's the Premier League. So especially this season, right, when you got Arteta and the team top of the table, tossing in balls, set pieces galore. So it's just clearly a thing for this season, right? In terms
And we
of
were
the
winning
Premier
those
League.
second balls, so you've got to fight for them too. Like, that's part of the game. So it was, it was scrappy. We're not a team that was keeping in the Anfield game. We were basically keeping the ball away from them for the first half, and that wasn't the case here. But we were, it was an end-to-end game. We were challenging them. They had their chances. It could have gone either way, and that's why, you need that first goal to give you the confidence. But what I'm so proud of is that, having conceded, they didn't give up and they kept going. And what a ball from Bruno Fernandes. What the hell?
Yeah.
Every time people, go on and on about the deficiencies of Bruno, but in one moment he just produces just a moment of magic.
Quality.
And like, sorry, but Scott, if you're listening, I know you want him to go off to Saudi, but I'm happy with him having been around for another 12 months and giving us that moment of magic.
And this is why he's in my fantasy team, because funnily enough, on Friday, I was thinking, do I take Bruno out and bring Palmer in? But this is before it was announced Palmer's out for another 6 weeks. So then I'm looking at the options to replace Bruno, and I'm like, who do I want at that price mark? I'll take Bruno. And
have you got Big Bray? Have you got Big Bray?
I've not actually.
I've got Big Bray. Yeah.
Oh, okay, nice. You benefited from the goal from that as well. But funnily enough, Ash said to me Friday night, half as a joke, "Oh, you should put him captain," and I considered it for like 10 minutes. I'm like, I can't do that, so I didn't do it. But obviously, he got the assist, but he nearly got the goal as well, right? So not far off a goal and assist at Anfield.
This is the thing. People keep talking. I actually should do some stats on this. I'll do it for the next pod just to look this up. But from viewing the game, people are saying, "Oh, Bruno has to play number 10. You've got best attacking midfielder. Why are we playing him in the deep position?" He still seems to get in these attacking positions.
Yeah.
The deficiency of Bruno, or the weakness of him in the central midfield, is your central midfield's open. So defensively, I feel we're weak and vulnerable. But in terms of attacking, he still seems to make those runs, get on the end of things, still create
because he moves around.
Perfect demonstration of the weakness of having Bruno in midfield is when Gakpo hit the post the first time. So ball from Salah, takes out the midfield, Gakpo one touch past De Ligt and gets a shot off and hits the post. That displays the downside of Bruno. So it's fine margins, right?
Exactly, but I think we want to see a bit more attacking. We want to see the extra attacker on the pitch, right? Everyone's going on about, oh, we have to switch to 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3. We're lacking the extra attacker. And I'm like, no, if you play Ahmad at wing back and you play Bruno in central midfield, you have 5 really attacking players. So I don't think it's a system issue. It's about Ruben being brave with his team selection. I was so glad when I saw the team sheet. I'm like, good on you. You've gone brave. We've gone there to try and win this game. And we were aggressive, we tried to score goals. Inevitably, Liverpool just can bring on £100 million players off the bench and just like pummel us and put 7 forwards on at the end. And it's like there's only so much you can deal with, right? Can we talk about that? Can we talk about that period before they equalised? Because they were kind of coming at us, and you could almost feel the equaliser coming. Yeah,
but down the other end, we were counter-attacking and getting into spaces, but we couldn't keep the ball. And I got really frustrated, as Ash will attest to, that Kobbie Mainoo wasn't brought on the pitch, because I felt someone that can take the ball under pressure would have been perfect for that moment of the game, like around the 60th minute. And then obviously they got the equaliser, and then you're thinking, shit, right? I think most United fans are thinking, shit, this is only going one way, which obviously made the winner even better. But funnily enough, again, I was quite pissed off that Kobbie hadn't come on, not only before the equaliser, but then when he equalised, I was even more pissed off. And then I saw Kobbie and Yoro, was it, just warming up on the touchline, ready to come on?
Yeah.
And I sent a message in the Let's Kick It Off group, fuck off Ruben, and went for a piss. And the next thing I can hear Ash going mad, and I missed the goal because Maguire had scored. But that's
you missed
football,
the knee
right?
slide.
Do you know what was even more funny? Like, Rafi had just dropped his drink bottle, and I had to go from the sofa to pick it up. And then just as I'm turning around, Maguire's just heading it and putting it into the corner. Then I celebrated and he got scared. So, yeah, that's one for the memories.
But yeah, great ball in from Bruno, put it into a dangerous area, and then Harry Maguire with the winner.
Let me just talk to you about that move though, Steve. He didn't bring Cobby on, but he brought Sesko on. That's an attacking move, right? So instead of, he's not saying I need to keep control of the game. I'm bringing my centre forward on for Mason Mount. I'm going to have the big three up front and keep doing the same plan. I'm not going to. I'm going to let the game stay open. They're going to come at us, and then we're going to go again. We're going to go long. So
but how are you getting the ball to them? How are you getting the ball to the front three though? That's
long
the point.
balls. That's what we were doing. That's what literally the whole game.
As he doesn't rate him, just face facts. Like he for whatever reason, he doesn't rate him, or he can't do what he wants him to do.
Yeah, because again, what were the tactics of that game was not to keep the ball. Right?
But that moment of the game required a cool
So you would
head.
have gone Mainu instead of Sesko, but all I'm saying is that going Sesko is not a backward step.
No, I think if anything, Steve, correct me if I'm wrong.
Probably both.
Surely
right?
you're saying Cobby for Agate, right?
Yeah, just get Cobby on the pitch. I'm not even necessarily thinking who for. Probably Agate. Yeah, like just get Cobby onto that football field, and he will help.
I do understand that, but you also have to understand.
You're a midfielder. Like, there's not even a question of like who would you rather have on the pitch, especially from a footballing perspective, right?
But this is the
irrelevant of long balls.
I think we go 2-0 up.
But it depends. It depends what you're trying to achieve, which is that if you're saying that you're 1-0 up, Manuel Agate is the guy who's got more mobility and can tackle. You know, Cobby Mainu, I'm a massive fan of his. I want to see him on the pitch, but I sympathise because he brought Sesko on. If he didn't bring Sesko on, then I would have been like, oh, you're wasting, we should be going for the second goal. I still think he was going for the second goal, so I have a bit of sympathy. I would like to see more of Cobby Mainu play football. I think he could have brought him on earlier. Bruno was a little bit gassed earlier, but he's the captain.
Yeah.
It was a bit hard, right, to take him off. And Bruno plays the ball for Maguire's header.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to keep him on the pitch.
You've got to keep Bruno on the pitch.
Yeah, you have to keep him.
And that's the thing, like you're going to say, okay, play Bruno and Mainu in central midfield. It's like, it's a bit lightweight in terms, the legs aren't there. So I understand why he went with Agate. I don't think Agate is a long-term solution. I think that's what I mean. I look at this squad and go, oh, if you upgrade Luke Shaw, Casemiro and Dalot in the next window, because I've said this is a multi-phase, right? It's not one window. That to me looks like a much better team because the new guys, I was so impressed. I thought Mount did well as well for the 60 minutes that he was on the pitch. I still haven't seen the Mason Mount of Chelsea. Like, I have not seen that yet. That COVID season, he was unbelievable. I haven't seen one game at that level yet. But in terms of work rate, and going back to that point of profile, he's more of a midfielder. So we were able to have more ability to win those second balls because, Mount and Cunha, Brian, Casemiro, Fernandes, all clustered in that central space. So I think Ruben got the team selection right. I understand substitutes we can have a debate about. I think that's fair. I would have liked to see Cobby earlier as well. But we won the game.
But we won the game. That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
I got the knee slide, and we're done. So,
and I was an idiot in the toilet who missed it. That's like
there you go.
Yeah,
100%. I agree with that.
That's the good thing, though. That's the story you tell in 5 years' time, when you're like, yeah, I was having a piss when Harry Maguire scored the winner. Like, some of my...
It's going to be... Yeah, it's 5 years' time when we've won the treble, you're going to reminisce about this pivotal moment. And I'll be like, oh, Steve, do you remember when you wanted us to fail so that Ineos could go out and you were desperate for us to lose every game? And a good old Slabhead, scored that goal at Anfield, and that set us off on the track to come fifth in the season, qualify for the Champions League, and that's why we're here now, wherever that venue is.
I tell you,
we'll be reminiscing with what's his name? Is it Faisal Islam? About how it all started. Do you remember how we were talking about how it all started in that Coventry game?
Slide indoors moments, right?
Oh no, when you tried to cajole him into Southgate in Bilbao.
Sorry, can I just say I've had two of the greatest pisses of all time this year. One of them was when Noel was playing the master plan, at Heaton Park in Manchester, and the second one was winning at Anfield. So I think that is probably the two of the best you're going to get. But Ash, Harry Maguire, yeah, I know obviously I missed it. Like, question, and this is for both of you. You know, when that game started, like, I remember Anfield away, even thinking back to like Champions League finals, you know, when your heart's like beating out of your chest for a big game, you know that feeling, right? When it's a big game and you can feel it pumping.
Yeah.
Was it pumping for you both as it would have been in previous years? Genuine question. Us, would you say?
Yeah. Badly.
It was, yeah?
Badly, yeah.
Okay.
It again goes back to the point in Ash's case, he doesn't have that emotional link to the manager, while I do, and that's why I was like, it's not just the Liverpool Man United thing. It was a Ruben thing and a fan base thing, and it was like I was waiting for the pylon of everyone, like, you know, coming at me about how this is just all a flop. So it was for me. I knew this was a big game and a big moment. We're talking about we've got the bet, Steve, right?
Yeah, which you're going to win.
What's the pizza place called?
Rudy's.
Other pizza is available in Manchester.
You've got that. That's done.
If you got this, you know, we can get the sponsorship,
But
Rudy's,
we're
if you're
happy to
interested.
be sponsored by Rudy's.
I'll pay you out earlier. It's done. That's done. You've won.
But do you know what I mean? Like, for me, this game was. Can I get that? I might go margarita. I don't know, bufala. We'll see what they have available on the specials menu. Bit of dessert thrown in as well. So for me, there was a lot on the line on this game, not just 3 points. It's the whole atmosphere around the club. We had Jim Ratcliffe come out and say he wants to give Ruben 3 years, and everyone laughing at this comment. He's going to, you know, get 3 weeks or less than that, right? Because I think our bet was the November. I was saying he's going to get through to November at least, and maybe then the international break. For me, this was just I was nervous. It was tense. Like, I was, especially as the game developed, because I could feel that we're close to something special here, and that's why when the goal went in, I thought, okay, we're done, right? They're going to come back,
and that's
now.
And that's why I was getting frustrated on the 60th, because you can feel the game is there for the taking. That's what you could sense right after the first half, and that's why I was getting frustrated. But Ash, you weren't having that same feeling of your heart. And I asked the question because I was thinking, is it linked to how we feel about the manager and the club? So Ash, it wasn't like a normal Anfield feeling for you, would you say?
No, the game is always the same. It's like the biggest game of the season in terms of that part. But yeah, just because of the form, just didn't have that feeling like in previous years. Like, if you're talking about like the Fergie days, and like we're going for the title, even when Liverpool aren't involved in the title, the heart is out of the chest. But I didn't have that feeling. I had that feeling of just like, we can do something today. I definitely had that feeling. Do you remember I was chatting to Laura's dad, and normally we're like, we're going to get absolutely battered. But I had a feeling we could do something. I probably thought draw more than anything. Ruben seems to get better performances when he's got his back against the wall, especially against big teams. So everyone keeps referencing it, but Arsenal played decent enough. And obviously last season, the Anfield performance, I thought, was actually a good performance. And, you know, this wasn't just like score a goal and then park the bus. We created opportunities at 1-0. Yeah, such a shame, because Bruno actually hit it very well, but you know, when you're in that position, you got to score. But I was going to say, actually, like, historically, again, thinking about this fixture, I can't remember the last time United scored, like, say, 4 goals at Anfield. Like, 3 goals is very rare. Like, we had a little spell in the mid-90s of doing that. So really and truly, like, you know, as we'll like it in terms of stats, like, we normally get 1 or 2 goals at Anfield to win a game anyway. And we have to ride our luck, which we did with Gapco hitting the post in both halves. But yeah, I thought also we actually defended pretty well in terms of like just before they scored. Like, they weren't really hurting us. Like, you know, I know they had chances like the Salah one and things like that, but you have to ride your luck at Anfield. But I did want to touch on the goalkeeper, because I think the biggest compliment, and look, I know it's only 2 games, but I don't care if I'm memed up later, but I think the biggest compliment I can pay him is we didn't notice him because he just done everything correct, pretty much, right? He made the saves. You know, he even with the Isak shot is the type of save I would make with my foot.
Well, I
So
think, yeah, I know what you mean. I think we did notice him because it's such a stark contrast to what we've seen.
that's
But
what I
know,
mean. Like,
I get your point though. Like, it's the calming presence, right? That's
it's
what
Edwin.
we've talked. That's what we've talked about, and that's what he gave. So yeah, I agree with that.
It's the potential, right? It's what Edwin van der Sar did so many weeks at United, like in the season.
And this is what I'm talking about, the limitation of, people talk about Ruben and coaching. If you've got a guy in goal throwing the ball in the net, there's only so much you can do. And he made the difference.
But he took 3 weeks to put him in, so that's on him.
100%. And that's why, when Ruben makes those selection decisions that haven't worked out, he deserves a criticism. But I think in this time, give him credit. Second game, he's played Le Mans. He played Ahmad at wing back. He went Bruno Casemiro aggressive in midfield. Went with the approach of Cunha and Mbumo and Mount up top with dropping Sesko, and it worked. And it worked well. So I want to give him a bit of credit. We also went for the main man, Maguire, right? A lot of people like, why is Harry playing? And obviously, I believe in Harry. I believe in his ability to deal with big moments. And Ash has laughed at me many times when I talk about his great character. And I'm like, I genuinely believe this is a guy that's, World Cup semi-finals, finals, Euros, scores penalties and shootouts. He always steps up. He's limited in some respects, but when the balls were coming into the box, that massive forehead was getting on the end of a lot of them, and then on the other end of it, perfect header. Like it was almost who's like Duncan Ferguson-esque, right? One of the best headers of the ball. Perfect, back where it came from. Goalkeeper just stood there, and the knee slide is always just on point. Like the guy just nails the knee slide. It was absolutely wonderful.
It's got to be the best knee slide in the world.
Yeah. What I love about that celebration, brilliant knee slide in front of the Scousers first of all, and then takes his time, runs over to the United end, laps it up, like perfect, Harry. Now, and fair play to him. Like, let's give Harry his props. We know he's got a lot of stick over the years, as you touched on it there. He's not like, a world-class high elite defender, but he's a very solid defender. I think most people would agree with that. But more importantly, he was, attacked on social media for a good couple years, right? And it went too far essentially. And for him to come back and get the winner at Anfield, fair play to him. Ash, I don't think you'd argue with that, would you?
No, I mean, I actually said it quite a few years ago when I used to like argue with Az about it. Like, the best Harry Maguire that you're going to get is actually in a back three. And I don't know if you remember before the game, when we saw the lineup, I actually said I would have done the same. I would have put Maguire in the middle of that three. And I would have actually dropped Euro because even though Euro has been promising, he's still 18, 19, and like Anfield is a big game.
I might have gone with Euro, but instead of Shaw. Shaw was the one I was a bit like, he hasn't played well. So I was, but Ruben clearly trusts Luke Shaw, which and to be fair, Luke,
I was happy enough with Shaw.
Good on Luke Shaw for maintaining like a run of games. I mean.
Is that every game this season?
I don't know. It just seems to be, and this is the thing. Like, part of coaching is also fitness, isn't it? And some of these guys have been constantly injured. Where I was telling you, I think Ten Hag's overtraining these guys, right? Too much. They seem to like Mount seems to be touch wood getting there. Luke Shaw seems to be playing more games. I think it's going to help that we don't have the midweek fixtures, the recovery. I heard they were back at Carrington straight after in the ice baths and whatever they do, in the new facilities that we'll talk about that Sir Jim has paid for out of the kindness of his heart. But so I think the fitness of the players that at 70 minutes they're given everything, right? They've absolutely given everything. So for me, that character to go again, to not think, okay, we're done, to keep going, to win that corner, was a good move as well, as I remember. I think Cunha, was it Cunha? running through on goal to get the corner, and then
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
we were still going for it. We're still going, trying to win that game. Yeah.
Quick props actually to the corner that led to the goal. That was a heck of a strike. I think from the angle I saw, it might have been going wide, but I definitely jumped to be like, "Ooh, that's looking good."
Mbumo,
Yeah.
right?
It was a good. It was like a good corner routine. What a cross.
And we
Fernandes.
we touched on it, but I think Cunha, especially in those last 15, 20 minutes, that's the best game management I've seen from a United player in a long, long time. So that was good to see.
It's the attitude, though, as well, Steve. Not enough of these players do it, and that's what I mean. I think the fans. I think the fans loved that yesterday.
It was like Rooney.
I wouldn't call it even game management. It was just like sheer will, sheer 100%. I'm just going to take the ball, come and get it off me. No, you're not getting it off me.
It's exactly what you want to see as a fan,
unbelievable.
Right?
Wasn't he in Asia as well, on the internationals?
I think he had a long flight midweek, to get back for it.
So don't tell me you can't do this. Pull out the wood, pull out the fire. You can. It's not always about what the manager's cultivating in terms of the dressing room. It's in yourself, and Kenya proved it.
So big question then. 3 more years for Ruben is what he needs, right, to get it right at United. Would you agree with that?
I think that what Jim was saying, this goes back to this Ratcliffe interview, right, with the Times. I haven't actually listened to it. I should listen to it. I've listened to
it. Yeah, he only does a couple minutes on United.
Yeah, I think it's more on the business side of things. And similar to other previous interviews we've done, it's usually the last 10 minutes they cover the football element. Whether it's Ruben or not, I've always said this is a 3-year project. You can't solve everything in 1 year. I mentioned it before with Arteta and Klopp in so many other previous pods that, the first year is you sort certain stuff out, then you go again in another summer. I've already mentioned the players I think that, so it's all about recruitment and it's all about better players. The difference in this game, if you swap Cunha and Mbumo for Anthony and Garnacho, we do not win. It doesn't matter who the coach is. I don't care. You need better players, and whoever is the manager, it's a 3-year project. And I think it's fair enough to say whoever that manager is needs a bit of time. They still need to deliver results. Ruben has to deliver results. This is why this was a big game. It doesn't matter what the performance is.
Jim said that it's results driven.
We've both. The thing is with myself and Ash, we've both set the same target. It's not like we have different targets. I've said we want to qualify for Europe. He said we need to qualify for Europe. I've said about 7th. He said about 7th. So we have the same expectation and the same target. You cannot finish 15th or whatever we were last season. Unacceptable. These are big games. I'm looking at the table now. We played 8 games. 4 of those games are the top 4. Our top 4. So we've had hard fixtures, beaten Chelsea, beaten Liverpool. We lost to City and Arsenal, but I think Arsenal, we deserved a draw, I think we were the better team. And I think,
but that's understandable. You can lose to Arsenal and City.
Exactly.
So now the
this is and against Brentford, that clearly isn't acceptable. I think looking at the fixtures coming up, Brighton next at Old Trafford, this is where you now need to really prove yourself, right? This is a great result against Liverpool. You lose, have we lost our last 4 games against Brighton or something crazy?
Last 3 games at Old Trafford.
Yeah,
I know
we've
a bogey team, right? They're a bogey team, and this is where you need to now go and show that yes. When I say that last year doesn't count, and this is a new team with new players, with the Cunhas, Sescos, and Mbumos, different characters, different quality. Now go and beat Brighton, and then we'll know. Right, and then we've got, unfortunately, Forest are getting Sean Dyche, because if I'd had the clown in charge, then we would have easily won that, I think. And then a massive game before the international break, going to Spurs, right? Because I think Spurs' start of the season has been overrated personally. I think they've got some good results that haven't played that well, and then they lost against Villa at the weekend. So if we can, I think these are the 3 games we look at those and go, right, now show yourself, boys. You raised it. Yes, Cunha, you're flying all the way from Brazil, and you've gone with the caffeine or whatever you've had to like find that extra level, extra gear. Now come back to the theatre and deliver us 3 points.
This is what everyone's saying, right? It's really interesting. The journos are saying it, as in it's got to be backed up. The fans are saying it because obviously we've been let down so many times. Even I saw a little clip put out by United. Obviously, United are loving it on the socials after the game. They're sending out discounts for the mega store, proper lapping it up. Today, it's a little 1.5 minute clip as the players walk into the training ground. How was yesterday? Everyone's buzzing. I really liked what Sesko said. We've got to win the next game. He's the only one to say it. I noticed Luke Shaw with a full iced coffee. I think it's the second time I've seen him with a Gale's iced coffee in the space of a week. So I'd like to know what's going on behind the scenes there. But yeah, I think everyone is saying it, right? It needs to be backed up. Ash, you looked very sceptical when Uz was getting on his positive vibe there. So I'll let you close it off before we touch on the ownership stuff. Do you think these guys are going to back it up in these next few games?
I've got to believe that, right? I mean, I want this to work, but I've just not seen enough evidence so far. So I want it to work. I'm buzzing going into Saturday, but this is the problem. We have to find out. So if we're 2-0 up after 20 minutes, things are looking good. But yeah, it's literally on a game by game basis, almost like in different phases of the game, as you know, Steve. But actually, my final question, Steve, is for you, because obviously you're kind of like in between both of us in terms of the Ruben stance. So given what you saw yesterday, that's probably his biggest victory to date. Is that a blueprint of like what you would want to see in terms of football?
Proof is in the pudding, my friend. It's results
That's a very
business,
Keir
right?
Starmer answer.
No, like I you know my thoughts. I don't think it's going to work out. I was pissed off Kobbie Mainoo didn't come on the pitch, but I'll lap up the win at Anfield and I'll get behind it. And
but also, more importantly, so look, we all loved yesterday, and nothing's ever going to take that away from us, even when Kabir starts banging on about XG, blah, blah, blah. But I'm just saying, if that is, say, like his pinnacle moment so far, and in terms of the football that you want to see at Old Trafford whenever you go back, is that what you want to see? Is that enough for you?
That would be, but I think it's difficult to judge based on Anfield because it's such an anomaly of a game. So in terms of an Anfield
but we
game,
create good chances.
Yeah,
so I'm saying, if you could see those chances and you see 3 at the back, like 3 centre-backs clogging the penalty area, some weeks you're going to see Dallo on the left, some weeks you're going to see Ahmad, some weeks you're going to see Maguire. Is that good enough for you? Like, can you
if we
live
win,
with that for 3 years?
You know me, right? I've always said I take wins. I was a big fan of Jose. I'm not wedded to a particular style. As a United fan, I love counter-attacking goals or direct goals like Mbeumo scored. I'll take a Harry Maguire header to win at Anfield or win any game for that matter. So,
Steve, question.
If
What's
the boys
your target?
deliver results,
what's your target
same
for
as
results?
you. I said to you guys, same as you, European football. So,
yeah.
What's that, top 7, right?
Just for people to understand what that means you are going to lose a lot of football matches. It's different when you're going for the league, where there are going to be ups and downs. And we're kind of, we're tracking closer to where we need to be. But we've had a hard start, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I feel these first 8 games on balance, playing the top 4 in the first 8. Therefore, in the next 8 plus 3, 11 games, we're not going to play those top 4 teams, right? It's the rest of them.
Yeah. There's a big argument to say that we're kind of on track because, even we're in the top half of the league, are we now? Are we 9th or...
We're 9th. 13 points from 8 games is about kind of around par, basically, right? So this is why these next 3 games are really important to show that can you now string a few results. You don't have to win all of them, but you want to get 3 points in the home game against Brighton. Then you've got 2 difficult away games, Forest and Spurs, difficult games. If you could win one of those and draw one, suddenly you're going, ooh.
Yeah, you're pushing for Europe, so I think we're in the right region. I think You know, and also like,
So
you know,
how are you adapting the bet now? Let's say I've won my Rudies. If we were to do another Rudies, let's or
He's
what
looking
are the
for his
restaurants?
gymkhana
What are the good
now.
restaurants we have in Manchester?
we said Ashes, right? The Indian top class.
Yeah. So if you were to do another bet now for Ruben out, where would you draw the line now?
I genuinely think that result on the weekend, I think he's staying the season minimum now.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's
Minimum.
a big change.
Yeah, because we always said, right, one of the big factors as to why Ruben wouldn't get the boot is because it looks bad on Ineos, the hierarchy. They've now got enough. They've got enough to go with from these first 7-8 games to just say we'll give him the season.
So what you're saying is, before that game, you thought he's gone. You put the pizza bet on. After that game, he's lasting the whole season. Would you therefore describe this game as pivotal?
100%, 100%. Because if we lost 4-0, right, I reckon he's gone today.
So have we found the definition of pivotal, finally?
Yeah.
Do you think even if we finish, say, like 10th, he's going to stay in it then, just because of that result?
I don't know about beyond.
No, he said just till the end of the season.
He's going to get the season, I think, minimum.
No, but
because...
okay, I'm saying if we go on another like bad run, even at say Christmas,
I think he stays. I think he rides. I think they'll ride it. They'll ride it out now. Yeah, as long as there's a relative chance of getting into Europe of some sort, I think they'll ride it out. And that brings me on to the closing segment for this pod, because we had a couple of weeks off, right? International break. Ash, you thought you'd get a nice few weeks in Sri Lanka, kick back in the sun. Us, you had a week off on the pod as well, so we're all chilling, thinking it's going to be a slow news week. And then suddenly, Mr. Turki Al Sheikh, the boxing guy, very prominent in Saudi. He's done a lot of the deals to bring entertainment over to Saudi. Riyadh season. AJ's been involved, Anthony Joshua, that is, Tyson Fury. I think he's involved in the golf in some degree.
Snooker, darts.
Snooker. So yeah, he's a big man in the world of sport over in the Middle East. And he put a little tweet out saying something along the lines of he's heard that there's new investors for Manchester United and he hopes they'll be better than the last ones. And then obviously social media blew up. And then the next day, I think he had to come out and slightly clarify the position that it's not in his home country. But yeah, there is new investors. And then probably a few days later, the talk is a consortium in the UAE are preparing a bid. What I read on the latest is Jamie Jackson from The Guardian, so whether you believe it or not, is that they are preparing a formal approach. A formal approach has not been made yet, but apparently they're contacting former United players. Beckham, Rooney, Rio were name dropped as part of that. And apparently, a bid is being prepared. So obviously...
Is this the same Rio who said, like, Qatar's done? Like,
it is, yep.
It's done. Okay,
that's the same Rio. See, the rumour mill started. I think August was obviously a crucial time because we knew those drag-along rights were coming into play. So the ownership talk has started to heat up again. I think it's still early days, but even that result, I think, is pivotal for the owners, to be honest. So I'm not getting excited just yet, but I did always say things would start heating up. So yeah, I don't know where it's going to go. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, any thoughts as to Ineos and the Glazers potentially cashing out? Could you see it happening?
I don't think Jim wants to cash out. For him, this is his legacy. But fundamentally, the Glazers still have the majority shareholding, right? That's the thing. Everyone goes Ineos. Jim Ratcliffe or Ineos are the biggest shareholder. But if you put the Glazer family shares together, right, they are the majority shareholder. And I think, therefore, that if the drag-on clause essentially means that if they get a bid that matches that initial valuation, is it $33 per share, that Jim has the matching option, but he could be bought out essentially, right? If he can't come up with the cash. We'll see what happens. For me, it's a lot of noise. I've always said to you, I don't believe Sheikh Jassim exists. I still don't believe he exists. I do think he was an AI or equivalent. I think it was all bullshit. And I know you're like, oh, he's from Qatar. You don't need proof of funds. That's not how. As someone who works in finance, I can tell you that's not how finance works. If you want to buy something for 5 billion, you need to prove that you have 5 billion. You don't just get your dick out.
We're going to ask Kieran as well on that. Don't worry. I'm going to ask him if you don't, Steve. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but like, if you want to buy something and you're serious, like, you show who you are, and you put your bid in properly, and you go for it.
Jerry Maguire.
For me, again, this could just be a lot of noise and fluff. We'll see what happens. I don't want to get too involved in it. I'm not a fan of that route of the sovereign wealth. It doesn't sit well with me. I don't like Saudi as a country. I don't like the UAE as a country. I don't like the people that run those countries. I don't like the things that they stand for.
What about Jim Ratcliffe?
Jim Ratcliffe, I don't have. He's just another average billionaire to me. I quite like him.
What about him revealing the fact that he's going to be meeting Nigel Farage ahead of Christmas?
Yeah, that's the thing. You're a typical billionaire who I don't like for their billionaire status. But as a person, when I listen to him in an interview, I'm like, yeah, you're right. We haven't heard any. I hate the Glazers. This whole I think you did. Did you do a survey on our WhatsApp group? Glazers versus. What was the results in the end? What was the question? And what were the options and what were the results?
Yeah, so essentially it was how do you think Ineos have been performing? And I'd done a scale from basically bad to good, like 5 options. And the majority, I mean, there wasn't loads that responded, but the majority, so I think there was around 12 responses, and 8 said awful, worse than the Glazers.
Yeah, I just think these 8 people are idiots, right? Whoever you are, if you're listening, and one here. I mean, I just don't understand that. How can it be? How can it be worse than the guys who put 500 million of debt or more on our club, and basically did all these?
Because this one had disastrous sporting results and gutted the club and gutted the culture. Gutted everything.
Yeah, because they're in a rebuild. That's how you do a rebuild. You gut things out and you rebuild them.
No,
right?
Not to this extent.
And can you prove the counterfactual that if the Glazers were also in charge, it wouldn't have even been any worse? It's just fucking deluded.
I can actually.
And also, I've run a simulation. No, you can't.
Ineos are obligated to put that 300 million in. Like, that was part of the deal. It wasn't like Jim just like gave a check and just like, this is it.
He did.
I've got 18 years of evidence of the Glazers
for the shares. And that was it.
It's called equity investment. When have the Glazers
hold on. Extra money that you're saying.
No, I'll say
it's all obligated.
Can we prove the alternative? Yes, we had the alternative for 18 years. The last 10 years have been without Fergie, so don't give it the Fergie excuse.
Exactly.
The Glazers always finish between 1st and 8th. Under Ineos, we finished 15th and lost the European finals to Spurs. So there's your proof, my friend.
Managed by Ange, the biggest loser going.
Yeah, I don't accept that because you just don't know what would have happened.
Whoa.
What do you mean?
We've got the evidence.
No, because...
So what? We would have got relegated instead of finishing 15th under the Glazers?
Possibly, yeah. You just don't know. Because the thing is, the club has been on a downward...
Then you just don't know if you could become a billionaire tomorrow then.
Before the Ineos situation came in, I was telling you guys, we are in big, big trouble.
We still are.
Post-COVID... Yeah, no, but we were... Whoever the owner was, and I was telling you guys, we need new ownership. We are in big trouble, big financial trouble. Also, we were being run unbelievably poorly. Yeah, you can say that we've had one season of bad results. Yes, but that doesn't mean...
Not bad. Awful.
Disastrous.
Yeah, but
absolutely disastrous.
That doesn't mean it couldn't have been worse. And I don't understand how...
It wouldn't have been worse. Come on.
It wouldn't have been worse.
Okay,
let's be relegated.
There's 10 years of Glazers evidence
we wouldn't have been relegated.
There's 10 years of evidence Glazers only post-Fergie.
They were running on the fumes of Fergie. When Fergie left...
not even... Ten Hag, this is like 2 years ago. Ten Hag finished 3rd. That was purely the Glazers, and Fergie was long gone, and we'd recycled multiple players out of the club. So you can't say that's running off the fumes of Fergie.
The things that Ten Hag did are the reason we finished 15th. That's a thing you guys can't understand. The signings of the
that's
Antonys and the
absolutely not
Casemiros are
the Hoylands, because you picked Hoyland over Kane. You picked Hoyland over Kane.
Okay. At one pod, we're going to have to go through this because you keep saying the same thing, and I'm like, I don't bother with it because you're just a kid to me. You're a child who's being immature. I never picked Hoyland over Kane. We'll go through it properly. I obviously said we should buy Caicedo or Rice in that window. I didn't know who Rasmus Højlund was, so don't keep going on about that.
So why would you recommend him? Why would you recommend him over Kane then?
I didn't. This is what I mean. You made this up. I didn't know who Rasmus Højlund was.
I've sent the receipts.
You still backed him.
I've sent the receipts.
I've
sent the receipts.
You said like pay the money. You were like
I've sent the receipts. I've sent the
we had a
WhatsApp
massive
receipts.
argument about it.
That I went before we signed Højlund. Oh, we should sign this guy called. Literally, me, you, Ash, you were with you. We did a spreadsheet. We should sign Thuram as a striker to back up Marcus Rashford, who should become the main striker. Right, and we should sort out central midfield. And to this day, we should sort out central midfield. So this is the thing. The decision-making previously was poor. For the first time, Ineos have had a proper window with a structure in place. We've just gone to Anfield. That Brian Mbeumo and Mateus Cunha and our new man Lamons have delivered beautifully.
Yeah, they
Give
have.
it a bit of time. Let's be positive. We've got a new stadium that is still being worked on. All these years of Glazers, they didn't even look at the stadium.
They're changing the design.
They're actually trying. They're trying, and they've literally got, as I mentioned, post this Anfield game, gone back to the brand new 50 million Carrington, gone into their new ice baths that Ronaldo was complaining about.
Obligated.
I think you're missing the point. It was part of the investment. It
That's
was
what
money
I'm saying. It's obligated, so like they had to do it. Like otherwise they wouldn't have the shares.
This is not the point. Part of the bid was to say I want investment. Jim has provided cash.
Yes,
and that cash
he's
has
got
gone into
shares.
the club.
They would have got it from somewhere else if Jim didn't come.
Would you prefer private equity or more debt? Is that what you want?
Well,
is that what you want?
I don't know. I don't know if this is that much better given what he's done to the club.
Well,
how can you not recognise that the club is? How can you not recognise the culture of the club's been destroyed? We have someone in the inside track within, like the building industry, who told us how Ineos gutted, all these like sites that they took over in the 90s, and that guy said he's doing exactly the same at Old Trafford with a football club. You've even had Kieran Maguire say that he's managing Manchester United like a chemicals plant. So how can you not recognise that? You're the one who seems...
I do recognise that, but I want change. I feel that we've been an old, decrepit organisation living in as a club and not a proper business. And I agree, he's gone too far. He's made too many harsh decisions. But as many cuts as he's made, you know what we'll do on the next pod? We'll come up with a list of all the new hires. He's hired a lot of new people as well. He's brought in new facilities as well.
Freaking Man City people. That's all he's doing.
We'll go through that in the next pod. We'll talk about it in depth. We're going to talk about you can joke about the stadium, but at least there's an attempt. The Glazers there's rats running around Old Trafford.
They put a design out. They put a design out after.
What have the Glazers done with Old Trafford? Nothing.
Look, you know my opinion on that, right? I'm one of the biggest fans of Old Trafford.
What did they do with Carrington?
In terms of what the Glazers have done is a disgrace.
Right.
But in terms of the stadium, it's like they put the designs out in March. A fucking idiot could have told you that you can't do a few of the things that they tried to do. And so them trying to be like, now we're going to redesign. Look, you're going to say, oh, good on them. But what's the point? It's like saying, like, let's go for the moon. And, if I don't have rocket fuel, how am I going to go? But how am I going to get to the moon without rocket fuel? And that's what they're doing with, even with this design. It's like,
right, because
come up with something that is tangible.
On that freight company with the land that we need to buy. You're putting pressure on Andy.
These are the guys
and the government to support.
But these guys have done that, right? Like they put the pressure on the government. The government are going to bottle it.
And I think there's my thought. I think part of the rumours around this investment could be around stadium. Right?
Yeah,
it might not be buying the club. It could be they've gone to the Middle East and go, right, we're trying to build a new stadium. Do you want to, partner in some way to get financing? Because it's going to cost a lot of money. Going to have lots of different financing routes.
That's a big possibility. And also, United have just put a survey out to season ticket holders, and they've asked about loads of options. Like, would you be willing to pay a license to have your seat? So possibly these survey results will feed into the investment in terms of, going out to investors and saying, oh, yes, we have got X amount of season ticket holders willing to do this. So there's stuff happening in the background. So I think,
exactly. And it
it's
takes
its own
time.
podcast.
You just need a bit of time. We'll discuss it in more depth. As it develops, but the whole 3-year thing. It's seriously. It's I said with the stadium as well. I said to you guys, it's 10 years. It's not 5 years. They're saying 5 years, but it's going to take 10. But if it gets built in 10, I take it.
Yeah, of course.
Right? I take 10 years.
And also, it's what's the goal, right? Minimum 3 years to win the league, possibly longer. But, in the meantime, we want competence. And it was not competent last year. There's signs it could be competent this year. Let's not get too excited. Let's beat Brighton on the weekend. And let's go from there. Take it game by game, right? As the old adage goes.
Yeah, and I assume, Steve, you love your boxing and you love your Middle Eastern money. So you're getting excited about this potential bid?
I'm not getting too excited. I think it's early days, but I always said wait and see this season, because I always thought there was new investors coming in. I still think the finances of the club aren't great. They're obviously better because they've reduced the cost base through the redundancies, etc. But there's still a lot of debt on the club. We're not making profit. Ineos's core businesses are failing. Well, reducing in terms of profit. They're not paying dividends, for example.
No dividends. Yeah, I was about to say.
It's a murky world out there right now. So I think something could happen, but we'll have to wait and see. So
give your mate Eddie Hearn a call. He knows, right?
I told you, Steve, didn't I? Like when you were banging on about Qatar and fake Sheikh Jassim, I was like, actually, your best chance is Saudi, and there's no smoke without fire in terms of like, why would you put that tweet out?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm a bit like with us in that, to be honest, we've seen this before as well, whether it's, I think Saudi have been linked with us before. I think it was about 2012-13 time. Abram's got big links. Abram Glazer's got big links into Saudi. But yeah, time will tell. But I do find it curious that he's put these tweets out. So I feel like something might be like coming up. Maybe it might be in a year or two, because he's going to go after everything. He's going to go after Formula One. He's obviously got golf. He's got tennis by the balls. And he's obviously done a deal with Eddie Hearn on the boxing and the darts and snooker. So Saudi are coming. And if it funds the stadium and gives me the best football team in the world, I don't like them as a country and what they stand for, but I need my Man United back.
So yeah, I mean, I do think it was weird for him to put it out unless there's something happening. So that's the only thing I'm taking from it, really. But what's interesting is I'm sure you've seen the clip of Fergie and Kenny Dalglish sharing chocolate buttons at Anfield. Have you seen it?
Well, at half time.
Did you see? Did you see who was sitting in front of them? No one noticed it. I saw it on Twitter today. It was Brian Glazer sitting in front of them. So they're still prominent.
I couldn't recognise Brian Glazer in the line.
Yeah, I was going to say I did see the Ineos lot. I just didn't see Hazard there.
It's Avi that looks like a freak, isn't it? So
just quickly on Ineos, right, Steve? I don't know if we've touched upon it on previous pods. The fact that Jason Wilcox is saying that when he joined United, he didn't realise how big we were. That worries me.
Yeah, well, I've got a load more to say, but I'm going to save it for the next pod because we're going to do a deep dive into this ownership situation, the structure of the club.
International break, yeah.
What's your view on chocolate buttons, by the way?
Solid.
I think they're okay. I think I can be better, Fergie.
Yeah, dairy milk, though, right? We've had this discussion. Solid.
It's fair. But yeah, it's quite basic for a billionaire, isn't it? Pulling out the chocolate buttons. I love that.
Well, that's because Jim took his salary away.
Yeah, exactly. Can't afford anything.
He was on the Hotel Chocolat before that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, we'll wrap it up there. Look, we won at Anfield. It's been a long time coming. I'm going to finish my cake. Up the fucking Reds. We'll see you on the next podcast. Hopefully we've beaten Brighton and we may just have a very interesting guest on the next podcast. So you'll have to tune in for that one. So thanks for listening and we'll catch you on the next one.